What's up, guys? Welcome back to a brand new video. Today, I'm doing my World Cup 2026 playoff predictions. Obviously, in this upcoming window, in like a week and a bit, something like that, it'll be the final playoffs to decide the final few teams that are going to the World Cup. There are 4 European spots and 2 Interconfederation spots up for grabs. There's a bunch of games that I'm going to predict, and then I'll end up with the 6 teams that I think are going to qualify. Starting off with the UEFA Path A, the UEFA format 2 semi-finals and a final. So yeah, starting with the UEFA Path A, there's 2 semi-finals. I've got with Wales beating Bosnia and Herzegovina at home. They should win that really for Wales. If they don't win, it'll be a bit of embarrassment. Bosnia obviously not a bad side, but Wales at home, all the fans singing, chanting, on their way to a World Cup. They should get it done. Italy, Northern Ireland. If Italy don't win, that's just completely embarrassing. Wouldn't put it past them though. But Italy at home, Northern Ireland, they've got to win that. I think they will. 3-1 Wales, 2-0 Italy. Moving on to the final, Wales Italy, which will be held in Wales if it does go this way. And I've gone with Wales winning, Italy missing out for the 3rd time in a row. I'm just not willing to predict Italy to qualify for a World Cup after what I've seen the last 2 times. And look, they could easily win it, and I'll look stupid. But if this does happen, I'll look like a genius. And not gonna lie, Wales beating Italy would be kind of awesome. I think everyone apart from Italians and maybe English people would like to see that. Even English people, they don't really have Welsh people. It's more Welsh people don't like English people. But yeah, that is my prediction. Wales 1-0 win, scrape against Italy. Italy bottle it again. I could see it happening, so I predicted it. Moving on to Path B now. Got Ukraine beating Sweden. Sweden looked rubbish, honestly. So bad in the qualifying group, but they made it because of the Nations League, some nonsense like that. And they've got Graham Potter. Obviously, Isak injured. Gyökeres is not very good at football. So yeah, 2-1 Ukraine. I believe they will beat Sweden. I think Poland will quite comfortably defeat Albania at home. Albania just don't think they're the same level as Poland. Poland been to the last 2 World Cups, I believe. So yeah, Poland just a step above Albania. So that leaves us with the Ukraine-Poland final, which will be held in Spain. Obviously, Ukraine can't play in Ukraine currently, so if Ukraine do qualify, the final will be held in Spain, which is where they're playing these games. And I do think Poland will be able to beat Ukraine and go to the World Cup. Ukraine not a bad side, but Poland, I think they are just a step above all the other teams in that path. And I think they will be able to beat Ukraine 2-0. Because obviously it is away, but it's not really away. It's a neutral venue. There might even be more Polish people than Ukraine people there. So yeah, I've got Poland going through in that. Moving on to Path C now. So on paper, maybe the weakest, barring one team. But I've actually got Kosovo beating Slovakia on penalties. That's why I've sort of bolded the 0. It's probably going to be, my prediction is a snooze fest. Kosovo get through on pins. Kosovo, not a bad team, beat Sweden in the qualifying group. That's how they got here. They came second behind Switzerland. Slovakia have been to the Euros last 3 times, in fact. But I'm feeling the upset. Turkey, I think they're better than Romania. Romania, not a bad team, and I'd honestly fancy them to beat the 2 others. Kind of luck of the draw. They've ended up against Turkey, who I think are the best team in this pool overall, as you can see by the final, where I've got them beating Kosovo 2-0. Despite that it will be in Kosovo, it will be interesting to see if the atmosphere sort of plays a part, but I do think Turkey are probably just too strong. Got some good players, Arda Güler, at Real Madrid. They've got Yildiz at Juventus as well. So yeah, I can see Turkey going through. I think they're the strongest team by far. They'll beat Kosovo 2-0 in the final. Moving on to Path D, maybe the most open path on paper, perhaps. Czechia, Republic of Ireland. Republic of Ireland had that, Troy Parrott story. I think it will continue. I think they'll get the win against Czechia. Czechia not been impressed. They lost to Finland, I believe, or Faroe Islands. One of they got basically the same flag. It's confusing. Republic of Ireland. Troy Parrott. They managed to beat Hungary away. They're not going to lose to Czechia, surely. All the Irish people will be there, even if they don't got tickets to the game. Denmark should beat North Macedonia, though they will be a bit down after what happened against Scotland. But North Macedonia, they're not going to do it again. They're not going to knock out a big team. Obviously, but Italy last time, then they ended up losing to Portugal. I think Denmark will be too strong for them, especially at home. And then you got a Republic of Ireland, Denmark final in Dublin. Only one way this is going. Republic of Ireland going to the World Cup, 2-1 over Denmark. second team, Denmark, will sort of bottle again. Obviously, Scotland, they lost the last game away. I think they'll lose this one as well. If Ireland make it to the final, they're going to the World Cup. That's all I'm saying. I think if they beat Czechia, they're going to the World Cup. I'm going to be honest. There's no way they're losing at home in a game where if they win, they're at the World Cup. So yeah, that is the European teams. I've got obviously Wales, Poland, Turkey, Ireland qualifying. Now moving on to the Interconfederation, where there is one game. It's like it's New Caledonia, Jamaica. Winner faces DR Congo in Path A. So it's like the highest ranked team gets a bye to the final, then the two lowest have to sort of fight it out. These games are being played in Mexico, I believe. Neutral venue. Obviously, the World Cup is being played in Mexico as well. So the first game, New Caledonia, Jamaica. I've got Jamaica winning 3-0. New Caledonia, I have seen them play in person. I did see them lose to New Zealand 3-0 back in last March when New Zealand qualified for the World Cup. They were actually not as bad as I thought they would be. Held us out to the second half, which was a bit sort of, I was getting a bit nervous, but New Zealand did end up winning 3-0. Jamaica, I think they're a decent team. I think once they get one, they'll get two, they'll get three. New Caledonia, not a bad side, but they're just not going to make it to the World Cup. I think Jamaica will get a comfortable 3-0 win, which means they'll be against DR Congo in the final. I've got DR Congo winning this. They've got the hardest run out of any team, I'd say. They had to go through their whole qualifying group in Africa where they came second. Then they had to do like a mini tournament thing. They're a bit like Nigeria. So they've gone through they're going to have to go through three different types of qualifying to make it here. And I do think they'll beat Jamaica. They're probably the best team in this whole qualifying thing. I don't know, some of the European teams are quite strong, but DR Congo are a good team, so close to going through first in their group as well. I think they will beat Jamaica. It'll be a close game, but they will be going to the World Cup. For the first time as DR Congo, I believe they went when it was called Zaire, but they haven't been since it was renamed to DR Congo. Moving on to Path 2, Bolivia versus Suriname. Winner faces Iraq. I've got Bolivia beating Suriname 1-0. Suriname, not super convinced with them. Obviously, CONCACAF qualifying was a bit weak considering their three best teams just automatically qualified. Bolivia, though, are the altitude merchants. They only win at home except when they beat Chile away. I do think they'll be able to scrape past Suriname 1-0. Neither of these teams are too great, but I don't. Bolivia are more of a known entity. They've got some big wins. They beat Brazil. Obviously, that wasn't a home game where they're playing basically in the clouds. But I do think they will be able to beat Suriname, although I wouldn't be surprised to see an upset. Moving on to the final then, Iraq, Bolivia. I've got Iraq winning 2-0. Bolivia can't see them being Iraq. Iraq are a solid team. Obviously, one of the best Asian teams, or the best one that hasn't qualified for the World Cup. I think they will beat Bolivia. Bolivia aren't that good when they're not playing in the clouds, so Iraq should be able to beat them. But yeah, that's in the video of DR Congo, Iraq qualifying from Interconfederation. Thank you for watching this video. I'll see you next time. Goodbye.